It was the ultimate betrayal. Catherine was furious over William. I'll never forgive Meghan. Wales are fighting over Sussexes. They never apologized for their lies. A source has claimed that Catherine is absolutely furious over William's plan to meet Harry in New York. While Meghan's screaming phone call with the Beckhams, William and Catherine's relationship with Harry and Meghan has been tense for such a long time. But things got a lot worse in 2021 when Meghan talked about a private interaction with Catherine. Quote, it was the ultimate betrayal, according to a source. Their estrangement certainly has been painful. In January, while promoting his bombshell-filled memoir, Spare, Prince Harry admitted it had been a while since he'd spoken with his brother Prince William and their father, King Charles III. Harry said on 60 Minutes, but I look forward to us being able to find peace. It was almost a whole year ago the last time the three royals were seen in public together. They were there at the late Queen's committal service. And even though Harry came to Charles's coronation ceremony in May, the monarch, William, and their wives did not interact with him at all, according to a palace source. The palace source said the wounds are just too deep to be easily healed. Even so, apparently there is hope. The source also says William wants to extend an olive branch to Harry. It's a shocking about-face, but he feels it's long overdue. But there is a big hurdle to overcome, and that hurdle would be Princess Catherine. Quote, she feels that Harry and especially Meghan have done enough damage to the royal family, and will do even more damage if they're let back in. When William told Catherine he wants to bury the hatchet with Harry, she was incensed, and she and William got into a big fight. She'll never forgive Meghan for what she did. This feud between the brothers began in 2018 before Harry married Meghan, and things got a lot worse when Meghan and Harry left the royal family and moved to America back in 2020. And then things became even more tense as the Duke and Duchess of Sussex shared their side of the story in that 2021 CBS interview. The source says if Harry reconciles with William, Meghan knows it will bring her and Harry closer to King Charles. And then, of course, we got their 2022 Netflix docuseries Harry and Meghan, and most recently Harry's horrible book. Through it all, William and Catherine have stayed dignified and silent. The source says, privately, they've been grappling with feelings of hurt and betrayal. Kate has drawn a hard line in the sand, and she's not changing her mind about them. They never apologized for their lies, but it's harder for William because Harry is his brother. It's a horrible situation all around. William and Catherine also disagree with Harry's claims that they were not welcoming towards Meghan when he first introduced her to the family. The future king and queen feel like they did everything in their power to form a bond with Meghan and Harry, but she isolated him and put up walls, says the source. William and Kate have gone back and forth trying to figure out where they went wrong, but at a certain point, they had to step back and stop blaming themselves. As they see it, it's all Meghan's fault. But William, with the understanding that one day he's going to be the leader of the royal family, and that he and Harry are forever bonded by the mutual grief caused by the tragic passing of their mother, Princess Diana, he is really trying his best to see the bigger picture. The source says he wants to meet Harry in the States before the end of summer. They could meet halfway in New York. William just has to convince Kate it's the right thing to do. They're fighting a lot about the situation. David and Victoria Beckham did attend Meghan and Harry's wedding back in 2018, and for a long time they were pretty supportive of the two. But now there's a new report out claiming that the friendship between the couples came to an end after Meghan and Harry started suspecting the soccer star and the fashion designer of leaking negative stories about them to the media. The source says Victoria and David had a screaming match with Harry and Meghan on the phone and want nothing to do with them now. To be accused of leaking stories is an all-time low. That Meghan and especially Harry believe it just goes to show how much they've lost their way. They're burning bridges in Hollywood just as fast as they did in England. The stories about Catherine that Meghan and Harry have shared publicly have really been painful. In that same 2021 CBS interview in which Meghan and Harry accused the royal family of being racist, Meghan told the whole world that Catherine made her cry and that then she showed up on her doorstep to apologize with flowers. That really went against the narrative in the UK media that it was Meghan who had driven Catherine to tears during some fight over Princess Charlotte's bridesmaid's dress fitting. And then, of course, there is everything that Harry wrote in that horrible memoir. He blamed William and Catherine for his poor decision to wear that Nazi uniform to a costume party in 2005, claiming that they gave their approval and they were laughing and thought it was a great idea. He also claimed that William physically went after him in the kitchen during a disagreement about Meghan's nasty behavior. Harry also went into great detail about private interactions that he and Meghan had with Catherine that made her look bad, including that Catherine grimaced and reluctantly agreed to let Meghan borrow her lip gloss before some event they did together. Harry also accused Catherine of being on edge once she realized that she was going to be compared to and forced to compete with Meg. And apparently Catherine feels like there is no turning back, but William is refusing to back down. Harry may need to think long and hard about meeting up with his brother, but Meghan's going to be more easily convinced. She knows it's in their best interest to get closer to Charles now that he's king, says the source. With their Spotify deal over, options are running out and Meghan knows it. Charles can help them a lot, but no reunions will be forged as long as Kate continues to dig in her heels. Meanwhile, the bottom of this debate over Meghan Markle really lies in the surrogacy rumors, not the plastic surgery. It seems pretty crazy to think, too, that after the latest round of cosmetic surgery that Meghan has had, she now is only a 48% facial match to her old self. And that fake moon bump, well, that was a big silicone pop that we heard. Apparently, that moon bump company even advertises that princesses like to use their products. I don't believe things can get much clearer than that. I mean, simply using a silicone moon bump does not necessarily mean that it was a fake pregnancy. And I guess it also doesn't necessarily mean it was a fake pregnancy that they used the UK's #1 surrogacy hospital. But anyway, conservatives do not seem to agree with this whole trans debate thing. So naturally, Meghan is not going to be a good fit. And of course, Andrew is a white British male. So according to some of those more woke liberals who live in the US, he must be the son of Satan. Personally, I cannot stand either of them. Both of them are malignant narcissists. And that seems to me to be the most logical viewpoint. I mean, Andrew was a real war hero in the Falklands, but still, his behavior with Epstein and towards employees cannot be forgiven. And naturally, American conservatives and liberals are never allowed to agree on anything. So instead of agreeing that both of them are actually horrible, somebody's got to say that one is worse than the other. Now, if Biden drops out, oh, watch out, because Meghan is probably going to try to run as the first black trans president in 2024. Now, that is a conspiracy, unless, of course, Mike decides to run. I guess we should just have a few glasses of wine and go down that rabbit hole. And you, what do you think about Meghan Markle? Please tell me your opinion below in the comments. If you think my video is helpful, don't forget to like and share it with your friends and relatives who need it anytime you want. And don't be afraid to click the subscribe button to get more updates in the future. Thank you so much for tuning in, have a lovely weekend, and we'll be back to see you all tomorrow.